Mr. Kelleher, it's good to see you again, sir. Business is booming, of course. Talk about back in September, that amazing win you had. Quick win, bonus. I mean, how big of a win was that for you after the loss to kind of rebound?
Yeah, it was amazing, and it was a crazy fight week too with the switch of opponents and everything like that. So I was going through that, but I get in there, get out really quick, no injuries, nothing. So it was also, you can't ask for a better situation than that, and then get the bonus as well. So. Like you said, business is booming, and we're back here to do it all over again.
Between then and now, though, like you said, I mean, that was a big statement for you, and it seemed like you were ready to get that momentum going again, right? And then you've got COVID and the delays. What's that been like for him? Was it scary at all? Was it frustrating? What's it been like in between?
Well, I mean, because I was living with my parents, so I was kind of worried about them and how they felt about things. So, but then I honestly think it was like a false positive or something. Nobody around me had symptoms. I didn't have symptoms. I got a negative test like 2-3 days later. So I was kind of like, maybe it was just a weird thing, a coincidence. And I was kind of thinking in the back of my mind, like I didn't really want to take that long flight to Fight Island. So it all worked out really. It was like an omen for me, So here I am now, and I get to fight Ricky Simon still. We still get to make that fight, which I'm excited for.
Yeah, I know you don't like to fly, so that probably worked out best for you. So talk about Ricky. It's funny, right? Like, I mean, after his last win, you guys, this thing's been circling around for a while, right? And you kind of got back and said, are we going to do this, or what's happening? So why is that a matchup that appealed to you so much that, I don't want to say you're chasing it, but you keep trying to get it back together?
Yeah, I just think it's a fan-friendly fight. I think a lot of people, when they saw that fight announced, they were like, hey, this is going to be fight of the night. This is exciting. Two guys that get in and exchange and not afraid to go after it. So I like that aspect of fighting. I'm not much of a point fighter. I try to go in and finish, and I think, Ricky Simon's kind of the same. He's willing to get in, get after it. So we both kind of knew, like, hey, we want this fight. Like, we want to put this fight on for the fans and be exciting. So let's make it happen again.
Was there any discussion about it being at featherweight? About was there any kind of discussion about maybe it being a bantamweight or anything like that?
Yeah, this time around I was ready to make bantamweight, and I had plenty of time. But for him, he had just fought in Abu Dhabi, so I think his team wanted to kind of turn around and have a little bit easier of a weight cut. He just went through a big weight cut, I think. So they actually proposed a 145, and I can't say no to that. I mean, for me, I barely have to cut much weight. I feel strong. I wish we could do this all the time. I'm really not a fan of weight cutting, so as long as I can do this, I'm going to keep on doing it.
I was going to ask you, I mean, is your future now at featherweight, or do you say it sounds like you still are thinking about bantamweight?
Yeah, no, I think my body frame is better for bantamweight. It's just the fact that when you go in there at 145, like closer to my natural weight, I'm going in there fully healthy, and it feels different. My pop on my punches feels different. My energy feels different. And it just reminds me, like, man, weight cutting is just not, there's no room for it in the sport. I feel like it just makes it an unhealthier fight, Me and Ricky Simon get to go in there healthier and put on a better performance, which is what the fans and everyone wants to see, anyways.
Yeah. I mean, I look at it, you did have the loss recently, but you're 3-1 in your last 4, all 3 by finish. I mean, do you feel like maybe you're not getting the respect or the love that you deserve? And I don't know, maybe it's because of the weight class movement, I don't know, but do you feel like maybe people need to be paying a little more attention?
I don't feel, disrespected in any way. I feel like, I'm yet to get that real signature win over like a bigger name. I think this is one of those opportunities where I beat Ricky Simon and, people start to talk more about me. I maybe get a top 10 guy next, something like that. But for me, it's just wins, wins and bonuses. Those are going to pay the bills. So business is booming. I'm going to keep the train rolling.
Obviously, I know you're not looking past this one. This is a big fight, but last thing for me, what are your goals? I mean, 2020 was a big year, right? I mean, you were able to stay busy other than a little shuffle, but so what are the goals here in 2021?
I love staying busy, man. As long as I'm healthy, I'm in the gym training all year round, so I don't like taking breaks. I mean, momentum's powerful for me. I like getting in there and feeling the cage and those nerves and being used to it, you know what I mean? So put me in as much as possible. I'm one of the guys that's like, hey, you want to keep me in Vegas for next week if someone needs a replacement, like I'll do that too. So especially at these 145 makes it even easier to say yes. So yeah, staying active is important to me and keep on winning this year. I'd like to definitely get 4 in if I can.
Amen. You mentioned the weight and how you don't like the weight cutting in this sport. Do you think to change that we need a mentality change from other fighters, or does that need to be commission led?
I would think as a whole, you know what I mean? I think more commission. So I think everyone's going to try to get an advantage if they can, but if there's some way to work around it, I don't know what it is. You know, I know there's been different theories out there, but, you know, I just know for a fact that from experience, you know, fighting at bantamweight, which is my weight class, just because I know looking at these featherweights, I don't want to put myself in a position to be, you know, 15 pounds lighter than a guy and have to deal with that and the reach and all that and stuff. So I'm really a bantamweight, but I'm healthier at featherweight, and it's a more fair fight with other bantamweights at featherweight because we're all walking around the same weight anyways, you know? So I think if you ask any fighter, hey, you know, 2 weeks out from a fight, hey, do you want to stop the weight cut and just kind of meet your opponent here? Like every fighter would be like, yeah, sure, why not?
And then you mentioned last time, obviously, you had the late notice opponent change. Is there, with the way the world is at the moment, is there something in your head every time you come to fight where you're going, well, I hope I get to fight? Is there something playing in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, there's always that factor of like anything can happen. Someone could test positive, a cornerman, their cornerman. There's a lot of people involved, you know. So I'm always kind of on my toes for fight week, but at the same time, like I try to remain calm because that's something I can't control. You know, the only thing is like prepare, make the weight, you know, be ready to fight mentally, physically. So that's all I really focus on.
You mentioned you thought you might have had a false positive test. Did you ever get the antibody test to see if maybe you'd had it in the past and it was sort of just showing up?
No, not after that. I do want to do that just to see, because to me, like, I don't understand if it's as contagious as they say, how nobody around me, my girlfriend, my mom, dad, like nobody was positive at that same time or even around there at all. So something's up with that. But yeah, I'd like to find out. I know there's the antibody. They did like a different test for people who test positive for COVID. They test like your heart, like they do a blood panel for, it's called like troponin or something, and it's to see if like your heart was stressed to make sure you could compete. So I had to take that, and I don't know if that shows like antibodies or not, but I'll find out soon. So.
And then last one for me, a bit of a cliche question, but you said you're excited about this fight. You think it's a fan-friendly fight. In your mind, how does it play out? Is it a back-and-forth scrap? Is it a one-sided domination? How do you see Saturday night fighting?
Simon says he wakes up, ask him what happened, business is booming.